In this vid, I'll show my trades over a 2WK period where I earned over $18K. If you haven't watched the previous analysis of trades, make sure to visit the YouTube channel, subscribe, and watch this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Telegram channel with useful info, and don't forget to like in advance, and I'll get to the point without unnecessary details. We won't be looking at all the trades, we will only review the most losing and the most profitable ones, because if I were to analyze all the trades, it would take a lot of time. At the top of our list is Solana. We will talk about this trade a little later. And now let's analyze the Bitcoin trade, on which I lost $1,417. Actually, this trade had the potential for a good profit, but I made a mistake, which is why I ended up losing. We have the first level of support, then the instrument rises, falls again, forms the second level of support, and a very lengthy trading session begins. Here we are once again approaching these levels, thus forming a cascade of support levels. We have a round number nearby at 26,400, and it might have been worth entering precisely from this value for a breakout. However, I entered right before the levels, which played a cruel joke on me, and that's why I lost. I even marked this level on the chart, but currently I can't comprehend the reason for my entry of LAI. It's puzzling me at the moment. I enter even at the moment they offer 0.15. I could have easily exited at break even, but for some reason I don't do that. I'm coming out very late. The pings of course have spiked, but overall I consider it my fault. I could have exited much earlier, could have even made some profit. I saw the guys closing at least at 0.2, 0.3 while I just gave into this situation. There are downsides. The main thing is to draw the right conclusions to prevent future occurrences. Entered, exited, returned 0.06 of net movement. And in terms of money, $1,417. I entered a full working volume. I spent $800 on commission here. If you want to save on trading commissions, you can scan the QR code right now and get back 25 or even 30% of the trading commissions. The next significant loss was incurred on the Solana instrument, but more on this trade later. Next, we had a trade on Turbec where almost $900 was lost. Here I entered on a breakout on activity. The idea was to capture some movement on the breakout at $45. Yes, I observed that there were no noteworthy levels there. It was dense. I entered to disrupt it. Regrettably, I do not possess recordings to demonstrate all of this, but the reason why I departed so late I still do not comprehend, because I could have departed much earlier, could have provided much less. Perhaps I made a mistake there, but at least I have that transaction. Next, we have the UGN funding tool, where I invested $628, and honestly, I probably don't want to trade with funding anymore because it's just not working out for me. With my volume, if you enter, everyone simply dumps at that moment, and you end up purchasing the entire order book, and nothing substantial comes out of it. Next, we had a trade involving Bitcoin Cash. However, the loss here is not as significant as in previous situations. This is a typical breakout trade at some local level. Here we had some kind of impulse, gave away 0.25, just a regular most standard stop. Next, we have a loss of $463, $414. These are our setups. An attempt to catch a breakout, precisely this breakout, but as you can see, the first click, the second click, I enter at the peak. It just stops me perfectly. Just perfectly, I give back $414. And there were many such trades. Here's another trade to enter in advance. Again, on a breakout of this level, well, for some reason, with entries, that's how it is for me so far. At the moment, I was thinking of completely excluding these sets, but I understand that in the future, if I increase the volumes again, I won't be able to just take a spoon and push it at the level. It will be impossible. So I need to learn this, and even though I am currently experiencing some losses, in the future, I hope that I will be able to tell you how to do it correctly. While we practice and learn, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but at least this week I put in a lot of effort during the training sessions. Despite comprehending that I practically mention this in every breakdown, acknowledging that I should not be typing, but still I type it, well, nothing. We acquire knowledge. Next, once again, we didn't have a breakout in the Ether instrument, as you can see, not even on the full working volume, so further losses are not as significant. I would say they are standard. Now, let's sort by profit. Situation here is interesting. I'll show you Solana later. And for now, let's analyze trade involving Ethereum. The situation looked like this for us. There was the first support level, then we start trading something, sharply drop back to these levels again. A cascade of support levels forms. Here we see local trading. I expect a smooth approach and would like to enter somewhere around here and then close the position after crossing all levels. The breakout itself wasn't the most pleasant, not very impulsive. Had to wait a bit in the levels after all. As you can see, it's moving back and forth. I just set a stop loss. I don't know why I placed a trailing stop here. We are analyzing the density from below towards around 1575. I take some profits with limit orders, then we have I'm not out yet. Thought it would hit another limit order now, but unfortunately the movement didn't continue and I just closed my position in the market. I had a net movement of 0.47% from this trade and earned $4,003. The next top trade was also executed using the Ethereum instrument. As you can see, we have the first level of resistance, second, third, fourth. All these levels are close to each other, forming a cascade of resistance levels. Additionally, we have the round number of $1,600 here. So I expected us to smoothly approach these values and then make a strong move right here. Working on this deal was a bit challenging, not quite pleasant. As you can see, we were supported with 7,500 ether, and it was from these ethers that I started building my first portion. The remaining part, the main one, I placed at the first local level, but the movement didn't start from this level. Some kind of consolidation began, yet I didn't remove the orders from the order book, so I stayed put. If I had set a stop loss here, I would have incurred a loss of around $3,000. In terms of potential, I was planning to earn approximately between $3,000 to $6,000. So the ratio here ranged from 1 to 2, which is not very good. However, I have already made the decision to remain stationary, observe the outcome, because we have not yet achieved a breakthrough of 1600. At the moment the price is rolling in, I think maybe it will just add up. Here at 1600 they break through nicely, some are closed based on limit orders, but I am already dumping the remaining ones. It is not pretty on the roll-in. It could have been closed much better. However, I thought the potential would at least reach around 1610. This trade resulted in a profit of $3,600 with a net movement of 0.52 taken. It was closed precisely at the potential on the entry and everything was executed as it should have been. However, risk management in this situation is not quite pleasant, and the stop loss could have been too large if the movement did not go as expected. The next trade from my top list was also executed using the ETH instrument, the first support level. The second, a cascade is forming. All this near the round 1610, a local trading range is forming. I am planning to enter here on the breakout. Placed pending orders before the first local level, limit orders for profit taking ranging from 0.3 to 0.7%. We see activity in the token. There was potential for more gains, but I didn't capitalize on it. A strong impulse follows immediately and I fully capitalize on this impulse. A position on limit orders. Managed to take a net movement of 0.45% from this trade and earned $3,536 in profit. Closed precisely based on potential, strictly based on limits, a really good, technically beautiful trade on a level breakout. The next top deal was also executed using the Ethereum instrument. The situation here is not as local as the previous one. We have a time frame of 5 minutes, there is the initial touch and some kind of local squeeze, a local rounding occurs. All this near the round $1,670. If we switch to the hourly time frame, we will see here that we had 2 touches at this level on the hourly chart, and there was also 1 touch slightly above. And overall, I wanted to enter here on the breakout of these levels. I closed the first part based on activity, immediately set a stop loss, then after consolidation, placed my pending orders, which got me into this position, followed by a good impulse, closed precisely based on potential, analyzed the consolidation, and on the pullback I closed the remaining part of my position. Net trade captured 0.53% and earned $3.002 in cash, totaling $3.002. After the entry, we witnessed some movement, but I no longer trade in this manner, so I accepted whatever the market actually provided me with. Following in the top trades is an evening on TRB. However, I do not have a record of this trade, but I observed that the click appeared good and the volume seemed good as well. The click was good, managed to earn $2,300, could have continued, but for some reason I did not proceed with it. Transportation Research Board starts to recover very well after some dips, and it is also possible to make some good gains there. Sol, we also have another top deal to discuss. Let's go over it. This situation was interesting not only locally but globally as well. We have 2 resistance levels locally that are very close to each other. Next, as you can see, I have 2 more levels. When you activate the clock, these levels become visible instantly. So this is a very lengthy accumulation from the bottom, some form of accumulation, and I intend to execute a breakout precisely at the point of exit from this accumulation. I already entered a portion in advance, placed pending orders before the first local level. As you can see, I got caught, but there is no movement happening here. Next, I see that there are some active sales starting in our feed. They have just begun now, but I also didn't want to exit here because I understand that if I get 100 plus, it won't be as significant compared to what I can earn here. I'm placing another limit order to close, thinking I should close. Then I think, wait, I'm doing something crazy. I should actually add to this position. Well, because many might not believe in the breakout here, but you can join in. So as far as I remember, I even added a bit at the moment. As soon as I added, there seemed to be some kind of impulse. The execution wasn't quite pleasant, but what can you do? That's how the breakouts were. After I've been sitting here for a while, the movement does start to develop. We cross the key levels. I'm clearly closing out based on the potential, but in the kite, I'm already unloading the remaining part of this position. A net movement of 1% was obtained from this trade, resulting in a profit of $1,132. By the way, everything was closed precisely based on the potential. As you can see, of course, one could have stayed longer, but I only take the impulse, so overall I am satisfied with capturing such a move. Next, we had a trade in TRB, some legs, yes, looking perfectly open. Seems like in terms of volume, of course, not a very large position, but overall not bad either. Next come the positives, some of which are not as significant. We only have a positive from Solana left, which we haven't discussed, at $9,000. However, it's also worth noting that here we have record negatives, a loss of $1,100, a loss of $950. So overall, the negatives sum up to around $2,500 with a profit of around $9,000. We have been conducting tests on the knife, and now I will demonstrate it to you. The speed of Solana is gradually increasing, allowing you to observe how this glass begins to fly. I am narrowing down the chart, anticipating an imminent movement. It is evident that some significant changes are about to occur. Just waiting for some entry point. The instrument keeps moving. Seems like it paused, but something's off. Next, we start to accelerate. I just understand that in Solana, it's a very liquid instrument that I can easily get into. The first point was kind of dumb. I don't even understand what I clicked there. The second one is clear to me now, but darn, it's unclear why I'm joining in here. But the third point is already precise. She is in good condition. I have not yet been able to add another part here, but nonetheless, the movement here has turned out to be satisfactory. A little embarrassing, of course, the practice in the sense that there are numerous unnecessary entries, including several entries that were made early on in the process. Why rush when you can simply wait for a good entry point and then enter? So here the tool starts to, as they say, kick in. I lock in some part, leave some, and as a result, this trade was closed with a profit of 4.5%, earning around $6,000 net. This demonstrates the importance of patience and strategic decision-making in trading. The most interesting trades we have analyzed together, according to the diary, look like this for us. On the 18th and 24th of September, $680 was lost. However, I spent $5,500 on commissions here. But thanks to the cashback that I am using, which has just appeared on your screens, I was able to get back around $1,000, so the week overall ended in a profit. And this week was clean and closed with a profit of $17,000 to $18,900, and I spent $4,000 on commission here, plus something else will come back. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because your support means a lot, and this support of yours motivates. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Telegram channel, where all my analyses are posted, including all the pros and cons in general, lots of useful info. Good luck to all, may all have profits, happiness, peace, goodness, and see you later.